Hello, good morning, Facebook. On Thursday, January the 6th, 2022. What a way to bring in the new year. We are experiencing a significant snowfall here in the Middle Tennessee area, especially Williamson County. We want to get right to it this morning because a lot of you are wondering what the roads are like in Brentwood this morning. So, joining us is Miss Kathleen Watkins. She is the Brentwood Emergency Communications Supervisor. That means that she sits and supervises the room of 911 dispatchers. And on a day like today, it has already been a very busy morning. Is that correct, Kathleen?
That is correct, Deanna. The dispatchers are busy working, answering 911 calls and dispatching police to a lot of disabled vehicles and traffic accidents. So if you don't need to be on the road, stay off the roads for sure.
Yes, and that is the most important message this morning. I know I've been getting a lot of text messages from friends showing the pictures. We're gonna show some here on the screen that definitely show how lots of cars are sideways on the roads, and there's just lots of things that are going on in Brentwood today that definitely, if you don't have to work today, you don't have to go out to the store, please stay home if it is not an emergency. So how many phone calls do you think you guys have gotten in so far this morning, Kathleen?
Well, Deanna, I was just looking at our CAD screen, and in the past, probably about 45 minutes, we've had 15 disabled vehicles and 3 traffic accidents. So I would say some of those are officer initiated, and some are people calling in to see what roads are available and that type of thing. So definitely, it's treacherous out there. Snow is coming down fast and hard, and we certainly don't want to impact anybody's safety. So if you can stay home, please do so.
Definitely. And I know that I've talked to several people who have been trying to venture into different areas, and it's really the same situation everywhere. Those hills, our crews it's come down so fast that our crews haven't been able to get to those hills and the areas yet to really treat the roads. Is that what you're seeing?
Yes, that's exactly what we're seeing. Even semi tractor trailers that are heavy loads are unable to make it up some of the streets. So at this point, I believe Concord Road is closed. As far as I know, I haven't been told of any other road closures, but for sure, if you do not need to go out, don't. Stay home, be safe, enjoy the beauty of it from your home.
Okay, great. And that's great information, Kathleen. Do you know specifically what part of Concord Road is closed?
I don't know. One of the
Okay.
dispatchers walked in right before you called and mentioned something about Concord Road being closed, but I don't know what the cross street is on it.
Okay, perfect. We understand. All right, Kathleen. Well, great information. We're going to loop in here this morning. City Manager Kirk Bednar traveled into the office this morning in Maryland Way. And what did kind of the area look like? I'm guessing you probably maybe took Franklin Road at some point. What did that look like?
Yeah, so let me apologize on the front end for disregarding Kathleen's advice of not getting out unless you have to. So, yeah, so I am in the office. I actually came in early enough before the snow hit. It was just starting, but it has come down very intensely, very quickly. And, what is it here, a little after 9. So really not much more than an hour, hour and a half into snowfall, and everything's covered. And so it's, as Kathleen said, really, really advising people to stay home. I've been watching our traffic cameras. If you do want to know what the road conditions are, you don't need to call dispatch. You don't need to tweet. You can go on our website and look at all of our 20 plus traffic cameras around the city and see what the roads will look like. And you'll see that they are snow covered. Public Works crews are out doing all that they can. But again, as we try to make sure everybody understands, we have limited resources in terms of snow removal. That's just the facts of living in the South. So we're going to concentrate on the main arterial roads, state routes, and main city routes like Crockett Road, Wilson Pike, Concord, Franklin Road, those things. And we just are not able to get in the neighborhoods. That's where a lot of our hills are. And so really do not venture out, because if you do get out, you may not get back. And so we just ask everybody to be smart.
Yeah, that's excellent advice, Kirk. And the what you're seeing on your screen right now is the address to our live Brentwood traffic cameras. These are up 24/7 on our website at that address. We have also placed them on the home screen of our website, so you'll be able to access those immediately. And so everything that I have been looking at this morning is covered. And really, we want to give kudos to our public works team. They were out this morning before the sun come up. And but really, when this situation of weather, when it comes down so fast, I've heard that we've gotten nearly 2 inches in an hour. No one can keep up with that. So really, I'm seeing someone go down Franklin Road right now, one vehicle, and they're going very slow. So again, the most important thing we can tell you this morning is if you don't have to be out there, please don't get out there so that our crews can work. Kurt, do you want to explain a little bit about how our public work crews decide which roads to treat first?
Sure. And as I mentioned, we focus on, again, limited resources, both in terms of men and equipment. Unfortunately, we're short staffed like a lot of other employers are these days. And so we have to focus primarily on the main roads, which are the state routes: Concord Road, Franklin Road, Wilson Pike, Moores Lane. We don't do the interstate. TDOT does the interstates. And then after those main routes, we do have secondary arterial roads, like I say, Crockett Road, Green Hill Boulevard, Murray Lane, Granny White Pike, those kind of roads, which are, again, kind of the secondary roads that lead off of the main state routes. And then we do have some primary routes into and out of certain neighborhoods that are hills. We've got, like Raintree Parkway. We do some roads in Willowick and some of those other neighborhoods where truly there is steep hills and no other way in and out. But it's impossible for us to get into every neighborhood, every cul-de-sac, every side street. We just don't have the resources to do that. So we concentrate on primary routes and those secondary routes that lead from those primary routes to the neighborhoods. And then a few very extreme hilly areas where really, if we had an emergency, we'd have to figure it out. I know a lot of people say, well, if you don't do my neighborhood street and I have an emergency, how are police and fire going to get there? Well, if we have that situation, one, police and fire have four-wheel drive vehicles. Secondly, if we do have a bad situation, they will notify Public Works, and we will send a plow with a unit to get into that neighborhood if we absolutely have to in emergency. But we just don't have the resources to try to get to every street in town.
Yeah. And we certainly appreciate that information. I wish there was a way I could show you a live traffic cam right now, because I'm looking at Concord Road at Wilson Pike, and the vehicles are really just going, it looks like probably 20 miles per hour, going through very slow there, and there aren't many vehicles. So that is our message this morning: is please, if you can stay off the roads, please make sure that you stay off the roads so that our public works crews can work. But also, we do have a limited staff of police officers here in the city this morning. We want to make sure that those people are safe as well. So we are able to take comments on this platform here, and we have Rick who's told us, thank you, we appreciate your insight. Rick, thanks for letting us know you appreciate the services here in the city. If you guys have any questions for Mr. Bednar or Ms. Watkins here with 911, you guys, this is the platform. We want to hear from you at home today, and we want to hear what questions we can answer. I know we were getting in a few different road closures. Kathleen had mentioned about a transfer truck a few minutes ago that was not able to make it up a hill. Do you know which area that was, Kathleen?
Deanna, I do. I did receive an update from dispatch that they're saying that Concord Road between Arrowhead Drive and Green Hills Boulevard is closed, and there are 2 semis that are stuck on Franklin Road at Maryland Way. So that's the update for now.
Okay, so Concord Road between Arrowhead
and Green Hill Boulevard.
Green Hill Boulevard. Okay.
Yeah, and that's a spot. There's a pretty good hill right there between those two, so that's understandable.
Okay, I'm just putting that here in the chat section so everyone will know that.
Deanna, I'm watching, looking at Wilson Pike and Crockett Road, and it looks like as you turn off Wilson Pike, there's a pretty good hill up and over the railroad tracks at Crockett. And while the camera's showing Wilson Pike, all the cars I can see look like they're avoiding turning onto Crockett. And my guess is that we may have some cars um, stopped on that hill also. So it's anywhere there's any incline, it's just going to be something you want to stay away from. And so just don't get out and put yourself in that situation.
Yes, I know. I did hear from someone on Crockett that there were a lot of cars stuck there. We will also want to take this comment from our fire and rescue chief Brian Goss. He mentions that I-65 northbound is turning into a parking lot, extremely slow moving out there, even on the interstates. Because again, TDOT is the one who will treat the interstates, but with all of the weather coming down so quickly, even TDOT's crews aren't able to keep up with the amount of precipitation that's falling. So thank you, Chief Goss, for mentioning that. Renee had a question about what about if a person is released from the hospital and it's too dangerous to drive? Good question, Renee. Kathleen is our 911 supervisor. I don't know if she has kind of some medical expert advice about that. I don't know if it's an option just to sit there and kind of wait it out.
That's what I'm thinking, is just wait it out. Your life's too important to try to risk it. So I would say wait it out.
Yeah, and I would just add too, obviously the forecast is for the snow to move out, sometime this afternoon. Now, what's different about this storm than some of our others is often we'll get a snow and then it'll kind of warm up as the day goes on. This one is only going to get colder. So conditions aren't really going to improve. But if, we're at the height of the storm right now, I think, in terms of intensity. And so maybe a little later, as the intensity of snowfall lessens and crews are able to get out a little more and attack the roads, maybe things will be a little bit better this afternoon. But they're still not going to be great because it's only going to start getting colder and things are going to freeze. And we want to remind folks that as it gets below 20 or so degrees, salt won't work. And so there's just, at some point in time, our crews will have to take a break. We've got everybody working the day. We've got safety issues and requirements for them to have a break after so many hours. So later on tonight, it's very likely we will have a very limited or very or almost no crew working because we've got to give our folks a break. And we're going to be in a weather condition where there's not going to be much effectively they can do on the roads when it's that cold and that frozen.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, part of this is that the situation is not going to get better tomorrow morning. So if you haven't gotten out today, it's even more important for you probably to stay home tomorrow morning because those roads are going to be icy. And I'm going to jab here on us Southerners. I'm one. We just don't know how to drive on the roads. Mike.
Yeah, and tomorrow morning will be just as bad, I think. So the advice is going to be the same. I'm not speaking for Williamson County Schools, and I'm still waiting for Carol's call for tomorrow morning, but I got to believe that's coming at some point today. So.
My kids are sitting here at home, snuggled up, watching television, thinking they are homebound for the next 2 days. So we'll see how things go. But again, this is our traffic.brentwoodtn.gov is the website for our live traffic cameras. It's an invaluable resource for you today and tomorrow, as you do want to see, if you're just curious to see what's going on out there, use the cameras and please stay home. Do not get out on the roads. So as we wind this up here, we still have a lot of people tuning in, but if there aren't any questions, Kathleen or Kirk, did you guys have anything else you wanted to say real quick before we wrap it up?
Just can't enforce enough to please stay home. I know I've said that several times on this broadcast, but it's true. You need to stay home. I think I'll be staying in a hotel tonight close to City Hall. So don't go out if you don't have to.
Well, thank you, Kathleen, for all you and your team do for the city.
They're the heroes, not me. That's for darn sure.
We'll have to get a picture of them here in a little while so that we can share with people what they're doing.
So, yeah, and I can't add anything other than exactly what Kathleen said. That's the primary advice for everybody today.
Okay, and all those tuning in here on Facebook this morning, join us back here at 10 a.m. We're actually going to do a larger Williamson County edition of this. We're also going to have Williamson County Sheriff Dusty Rhodes, some representative from Franklin Police, Also Brentwood Fire and Police, talking a little bit more about the larger safety picture. Alan was asking what the website is again. It's right here on the screen, Alan. So it's traffic@brentwoodtn.gov. And you can also find it at brentwoodtn.gov, which is the homepage of our city's website. And so we will be back here in about 30 minutes to answer more of your questions as we go throughout the day. So thank you, Kirk and Kathleen, and hope you all have a great day. Thank you.